Going to take a quick break from the blood drive because before donating blood, it's very important that you eat iron-rich foods. Joining us with an iron-rich recipe, we have Annie Lytle-Rich from Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am well. Now, a lot of people, they're going to come down, they're going to donate some blood, but it's important that they have a lot of iron. So we have an iron-rich recipe. What are we going to make today?
So today we're going to make a baked egg with a spinach and some tomato. And this is a great recipe because the spinach is a really high in iron green.
Very cool.
You want to look for leafy greens, but spinach is the best.
Like dark leafy
Dark leafy greens.
Okay.
Like kales, your spinach, your collard greens.
And we have a list of foods that are really high in iron and in vitamin C because you need that too. But
Yes, you do.
later in the show, we're going to show you that list.
Yes.
So
we've got that, and then we've got some tomato, which is high in vitamin C, and vitamin C helps you absorb the iron.
You're
so it's
absolutely
great
right.
to have both. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to saute the spinach for just a few minutes.
And a little bit of olive oil?
So we've got a little bit of olive oil.
Excellent.
We've got a little bit of garlic,
Yes.
which is also very excellent for you.
And it makes your breath smell fantastic.
And it makes your breath, that's what I hear.
And come on down after you've had some garlic. You're going to make a lot of friends at the blood drive.
Exactly. So we're just going to saute this for about 30 seconds to a minute. We don't want it to get brown, but we want to be able to smell the aromas of the garlic.
Okay.
That's the most fun part about cooking garlic.
I love this. We're going to stink up the whole studio.
Yes, and then we're just going to add, I've got 4 cups of spinach, which seems like a massive amount, but it's going to...
It cooks down.
It's going to cook right down. And you want to avoid any temptation to add water to this.
Okay.
Because the spinach is going to release a lot of water.
You're right.
All right, so I'm going to cook this down. And then I'm going to have you do the next part.
Done. I can do that.
All right, so these are our ramekins, and this is what we're going to bake the eggs in.
I got to put one right here. They're adorable, and I want everybody at home to see how adorable they are. And if you can eat a brunch in one of these, so cool.
And that's basically what's going to happen in the next few minutes.
I'm in. So what do we do?
So first we have to butter the ramekin. We're just going to use a little bit of butter, just enough to. I'm going to give you this paper towel.
I was trying to think how you were going to have me do it.
And then just coat the outside.
There we go. Look at that.
And then if you want to just do this other cute little ramekin.
Okay. Okay, they're all greased up.
In the time it took you to do that, the spinach is done. Isn't that
You're
amazing?
good at this. You're good at this. All right.
I did practice.
You're like in front of a mirror last night.
In front of a mirror last night, I was like, saute the spinach, Annie, saute the spinach. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put half of this spinach into the bottom of the ramekin with the garlic.
This is great.
I'm not gonna. I've had this 3 times this week. I am super into it.
You were using these ramekins for your New Year's, right?
Yeah, for my New Year's brunch, and then I had it again for dinner last night.
Why not?
I know they're delicious, and my blood is now pumping with iron. It's like it's going to the gym.
Well, then you should donate blood after this.
I might have to.
There you go. I think you might have to. So we have the spinach in here.
We have the spinach, and now we need our vitamin C so that spinach can absorb right into our bloodstream. Okay. So we're going to do 2 slices in each one.
Just pop them right on top?
Pop them right on top. All right, excellent. And now we're going to crack 2 eggs on top of each ramekin.
So each one gets 2 eggs?
Each one gets 2 eggs. It's a complete meal.
We'll split. You take that one. I'll go here.
And I leave the yolks whole.
So
but
it's
if it cracks, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, as long as you're getting your iron. Here you go. One of these, one of these.
Excellent. And eggs are a great source of protein. They've got a lot of good cholesterol in them.
So you start your day with it.
Now we're going to put a little bit of salt. Okay. And I've got a Himalayan pink salt.
And a little bit of pepper?
And a little bit of pepper.
Is there anything good in the pink salt, or is it just because it's awesome and it's a pink salt?
You know, I think there actually is something good in the pink salt, but I cannot remember off the top of my head right now.
Sounds good to me.
So that's for people to look up at home.
Yeah, exactly. It's homework for everybody.
It's homework for the viewers. All right, so we've got a little bit of pepper.
Got these
and now for the finishing touch, a little bit of feta cheese. This is a low-fat cheese.
Yeah.
But it's still going to add a little extra protein and a little extra just zest to the morning.
Keeps getting better and better.
So let's add some feta on top.
I'm just going to dump because I believe in a high portion size.
Yeah, and this is going to make it look really nice and crispy when it bakes.
Annie, we're going to pop it in the oven?
We're going to pop it in the oven. I've preheated the oven to 375.
375
and we're going to put that in there for about 15 minutes. And when we take them out, we're going to be looking for the egg to be almost completely set, but it's going to cook for a little bit longer in the ramekin because this is going to get hot. It's going to cook it from the inside. So you want to take it out just before you want it done.
And it's going to cook a little bit.
Exactly. And like making an egg on the stove or any other way you might make eggs. You can choose if you want it to be runny, if you want to cook it all the way and have it be like a hard-boiled egg. You really can leave it up to that. I like the yolk to kind of spill out and mix in with the spinach and the tomato, and so 15 minutes is going to get you a nice kind of just under medium egg.
Well, we're going to pop these in the oven. We're going to check back a little bit later in the show. We're also going to make, what, green tea coming up?
We're going to make an excellent drink to start your day. It's going to be green tea with lemon, and there's a few tricks to making green tea that's going to make it so that your body can really absorb all the antioxidants, which help grows new cells.
And we're going to put some lemon in there for some vitamin C too, to help with your iron absorption. And we're going to talk about the things that have the most iron in them. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. But we're back with Annie LYTLE-RICH from Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. We're finishing up this iron-rich recipe, which I'm really excited about. We have it right here. It's finished. But in the meantime, you were telling us earlier you're going to boost our system with some green tea.
Yes. So this is many doctors say that this is one of the best things that you can drink for yourself.
Nice.
And that's because it's green tea and it's filled with antioxidants, and it's got antioxidants that are going to help with weight control. With some studies say that's going to help you with cancer. It's going to give you more energy. There's a little bit of caffeine in green tea, which is going to give you some energy, but there's also antioxidants.
All of those benefits.
Yes, all the benefits. And if you don't like caffeine, green tea is still usually okay because it's a very small amount, so it's not going to make you jittery.
Okay.
So here's how you make it, because it's a little bit different than regular green tea. So you want to have your water be between 160 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit.
But
water
no one's going to measure their water.
No one's going to measure that. So, you could have a thermometer and measure, make sure you hit that temp, but most people don't have that at home. So here's another method you can have. You want your water to be boiling.
Okay.
So you know it's boiling usually when it starts to whistle like it is.
Yeah, when it makes noise at you.
So we're going to then pour about 3/4 of the way up with our hot water.
And then we're going to dilute with cold water.
And we're going to dilute with cold water.
And ideally, that gets us to around the temperature we need to be.
Around the temperature. It's probably not going to be exact, but it's going to be much closer and a much easier system.
So fill your cup up, 1/4 of a cup or so.
And then we're going to take our we're going to use 1 teaspoon of green tea per 8 ounces of water. So we've got this is a Japanese sencha. It's a very high quality green tea, and the higher the quality of your green tea, the more antioxidants you're going to get.
When you get up there in the tea world too, it's going to be a loose leaf in bulk like this, especially if you want to save money. So you could buy a regular tea bag, but if you want a higher class of tea, you're going to tend to get it bulk loose leaf.
Yep,
right?
and you can order these online, or you can buy them at a local tea shop. I know there's one in Northampton that I always go to get it. All right, so then we're going to close this up.
How do you close it up so the tea doesn't come out?
Twist it.
Okay.
And then when the bag gets wet, it's going to hold it there.
Great idea.
And then we're going to put it in, and we're going to brew it for just 2 to 3 minutes. After that, it's going to start to get bitter. And we don't want to drink bitter tea.
So we time it 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes.
Now, we were talking about earlier, we were going to tell everybody foods that are rich in iron. So we have a great list for you. We want to start with the meat, your red meat, and to a lesser extent, your poultry and your fish, but you want to make sure that you have all of those. And then things like beans and dried fruit. And then dark green leafy vegetables, like we're talking about earlier. Yeah, peas, iron, fortified cereals are big too. You get a lot of cereal, but then if you see them and they're fortified, even more. And then breads and pastas. And then the other thing you were talking about earlier, the role that vitamin C plays.
Yep. So vitamin C is going to stimulate your system, and it's going to allow for an easier infusion of all the iron, antioxidants into your bloodstream, and so you're going to get more of the good stuff into your body.
So things like broccoli, leafy greens, well done again, peppers, grapefruits, and a lot of different fruits. There's a list on our website. There's also a list right there. But this looks great. Now, we finished this.
Yep, and one last bit for our tea is we have a little bit of lemon, so a little bit more vitamin C. We can put that into our green tea.
She thinks of everything.
Think of everything.
So a little bit of that. Now, we finished these. Can we take a look at our finished breakfast bowls? What are we calling these? Soufflés, perhaps?
I call them just a baked egg.
A baked egg. Now, if people missed it earlier, there's a bunch of spinach and garlic in the bottom, then a couple layers of tomato, and then eggs and feta cheese.
Yep, and a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper.
The most important question I've asked you all day long, can we eat these?
We can eat these. We have some nice whole grain seed bread, which is going to be some great fiber. And we can eat that, use that
All right.
buttered
Let's
to have
finish
our
the presentation, make it look really good.
Thank
Annie,
you.
it's always a pleasure having you here. You're fantastic. And if you want more of this iron-rich recipe and a few more, why don't you head to our website, mymassappeal.com, later today. Until then, shall we dig in?
Yes, let's go for it.